Life has a way of testing us. Unexpected twists, sudden betrayals, and subtle disappointments can shake even the strongest among us. In our fast-paced modern world, stress, manipulation, and broken trust seem almost unavoidable. But here's the truth. While we cannot always control what others do, we can always control how we respond. And this is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy built on clarity, resilience, and wisdom, becomes our greatest ally. Today, let us explore how Stoic principles can guide us through the complex landscape of trust and human relationships. We'll learn how to spot manipulators, critics, and toxic people, and more importantly, how to protect our peace of mind while navigating a world full of challenges. Trust is like a rare and delicate masterpiece. When placed in the right hands, it becomes a beautiful painting, something to be cherished and protected. But in the wrong hands, trust can be twisted, manipulated, and destroyed, leaving scars that take years to heal. Manipulative people are experts in charm. They smile, flatter, and appear supportive, but their true motives hide beneath the surface. They may distract us with kind words while quietly taking advantage of our openness. The Stoic approach here is to become a keen observer, to listen more than we speak, to pay attention to inconsistencies, and to trust the voice of our intuition. As Epictetus once said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. The lesson is clear. Your peace of mind is sacred. Trust wisely, and don't hand over the pen that writes your life as story to someone who may sketch you into chaos. Some people seem to carry a storm cloud everywhere they go. Their words are harsh, their judgments sharp, and their presence heavy. This is the constant critic, the one who finds fault in everything you do. But Stoicism offers us freedom from their grip. Marcus Aurelius reminded us not to become like those who wrong us. When faced with criticism, we don't have to fight back, prove them wrong, or let their negativity enter our hearts. Instead, we rise above. Their words are like passing rain, uncomfortable, yes, but temporary. The Stoic response is calm confidence, a gentle smile, a nod, and then moving forward with strength. You don't need to engage in their endless battles because your inner peace is worth more than their approval. We live in a world filled with social connections, yet loneliness remains common. Why? Because many relationships are shallow, built on small talk and surface-level friendliness. The Stoics warned us about such people, the superficially friendly, the ones who shine in the sunlight of popularity, but disappear when storms arrive. They may ask how you are, but care little for the answer. Their laughter may be loud, but their loyalty is quiet. Seneca taught that true friendship is serene and steady, not a performance. The real test of a friend is not how they act when life is easy, but whether they remain when life gets hard. As modern Stoics, we should seek depth over breadth, valuing a few genuine connections over 1,000 empty ones. In today's digital age, attention has become one of the rarest gifts. Conversations are often interrupted by buzzing phones and wandering eyes. The inattentive listener nods along while scrolling, giving the illusion of presence but offering nothing real. Stoicism reminds us that to be everywhere is to be nowhere. True presence requires focus. If someone cannot give us the respect of attention, then we must respect ourselves enough not to waste our words. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "It is not that we have little time, but that we waste much of it. Protect your time and energy. Invest it only in those who value it." Empathy is the glue that holds trust together. Without it, relationships collapse. Yet some people live as though compassion is unnecessary. They move through life self-absorbed, blind to how their actions affect others. The Stoic response is both simple and powerful: distance and discernment. We cannot force someone to care, but we can choose not to let their indifference damage us. Surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and support you. Life is too short to invest in those who cannot even offer basic kindness. Some people live to provoke. A sly remark here, a mocking smirk there. They aim to unsettle you, to pull you into their negativity. But Stoicism equips us with armor. Marcus Aurelius taught that we have power over our minds, not outside events. Their remarks are the storm, but you are the mountain. Let their words drift by like clouds. Don't fight their game. Refuse to play it all together. This is strength, choosing serenity over reaction. We've all met the eternal victim, those who wear misery like a badge. Every day brings a new complaint, a new injustice, a new reason why the world is against them. While compassion is important, Stoicism teaches us balance. Help if you can, but don't drown in their endless storms. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." If someone insists on feeding negativity, remember that you don't have to share their meal. Protect your own journey. Few betrayals cut deeper than discovering someone speaks kindly in your presence but poisons your name behind your back. This is the two-faced individual, the actor playing a double role. The Stoic approach? Choose wisely. Seneca advised surrounding ourselves only with those who uplift and inspire. You don't need to confront every liar or expose every rumor. Instead, step away, protect your peace, and build your circle on honesty and loyalty. Finally, there are the truly toxic, those who spread negativity wherever they go. Their presence alone feels heavy. They drain energy, plant doubt, and darken even the brightest days. Stoicism doesn't tell us to hate them. It tells us to set boundaries. Imagine your inner peace as a castle. The toxic person may try to storm its gates, but you hold the keys. Guard your space. Protect your mind. Don't hand over control of your emotions to anyone unworthy of them. So what do we learn from all this? That trust is precious, but it must be given wisely. That criticism, manipulation, and negativity cannot break us if we choose calm strength over reaction. That true friendship and loyalty are rare treasures worth protecting. Stoicism is not about rejecting people. It's about choosing wisely, setting boundaries, and protecting your most valuable treasure, your peace of mind. As you continue your journey, remember, you are the artist of your life. Don't hand the brush to someone who will only paint chaos. Surround yourself with honesty, empathy, and depth. Protect your trust. Guard your peace, and walk the Stoic path with courage, wisdom, and serenity. Life, in its unpredictable and often turbulent flow, can sometimes feel overwhelming. We wake up each morning and step into a world buzzing with distractions, demands, and disappointments. There are moments when we feel pulled in a dozen directions, unsure of what truly matters and how to anchor ourselves in the chaos. Yet despite living in such a complex age, human beings have wrestled with the same challenges for thousands of years. Anxiety, anger, loss, ambition, and the search for meaning have always been part of the human story. And through that long history, one philosophy has stood out as a timeless compass: Stoicism. Today we embark on a journey to explore Stoicism, not as a dusty relic of the past, but as a vibrant, practical guide to living with wisdom, resilience, and strength in the modern world. Stoicism began in ancient Greece over 2,000 years ago, founded by Zeno of Citium, and later refined by great thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. At its core, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control external events, we can always control our inner response. This idea may seem simple, but its implications are profound. Imagine standing in a storm. You cannot stop the winds, nor the rain, nor the thunder, but you can decide whether to panic and run aimlessly, or to plant your feet firmly, cover yourself, and remain calm until the storm passes. That is the essence of Stoic strength, to remain steady in a world that is always shifting. To understand Stoicism is to understand the art of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. This is called the dichotomy of control, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. For example, we cannot control the opinions of others, the weather, the economy, or the twists of fate. But we can control our judgments, our choices, and our actions. Too often, we waste energy wrestling with the uncontrollable, worrying about the past, fearing the future, or obsessing over what others might think. The Stoics teach us that peace is found not in controlling the uncontrollable, but in mastering ourselves. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite leading the largest empire of his time, he faced constant wars, political intrigues, plagues, and personal tragedies. Yet in his private writings, later collected as meditations, Marcus reminded himself daily to focus on what lay within his power, his thoughts, his character, and his choices. If a man ruling millions could not control the tides of history but still found serenity through Stoic wisdom, then surely we too can apply these lessons in our own daily struggles. One of the great lessons Stoicism offers us is the practice of acceptance. Now, acceptance is not about passivity or resignation. It does not mean surrendering to every misfortune without resistance. Instead, it is about facing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. So much of our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our resistance to them. As Epictetus taught, it is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things. If a friend speaks harshly to us, the words themselves carry no permanent wound. It is our interpretation. They do not respect me. I must retaliate. I am unloved. That causes pain. By reframing our judgments, we can transform hurt into wisdom, rejection into freedom, and loss into clarity. Another vital principle of Stoicism is the cultivation of resilience. Life is unpredictable. We will lose loved ones. We will fail in some endeavors. We will face illness, aging, and setbacks. To live is to experience change, and with change comes loss. The Stoics did not shy away from this truth. Instead, they prepared for it. Seneca, the Roman statesman and philosopher, often reflected on death and misfortune, not to wallow in sadness, but to train his mind to meet adversity with composure. He wrote, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." By contemplating difficulties before they arrive, Stoics strengthen their spirit. So when hardship knocks, it does not break them, but merely tests their preparation. In today's world, resilience is more crucial than ever. Every notification on our phone can bring unexpected news, sometimes joyous but often distressing. A job can vanish overnight. Friendships can fade. Plans can crumble. And yet, if we have trained ourselves in Stoic resilience, we understand that while external events may wound us, they need not destroy us. We learn to bend like the reed in the wind, flexible and enduring, rather than snapping like a rigid branch. But Stoicism is not only about surviving hardships, it is also about living with virtue. For the Stoics, virtue, meaning wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline, was the highest good. Unlike wealth, fame, or power, which depend on chance, virtue depends only on ourselves. You may lose your fortune or your health, but your integrity is always within your command. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let us consider justice, one of the cardinal Stoic virtues. In our daily lives, we interact with countless people, family, friends, colleagues, strangers. Conflicts are inevitable. People may wrong us, criticize us, or act unfairly. The Stoic response is not revenge, but fairness. To act justly is to rise above the pettiness of others and to remain true to our own values. This does not mean allowing ourselves to be exploited, but it does mean responding with dignity rather than cruelty. By practicing justice, we contribute to harmony, not division. Courage is another pillar. Courage does not mean fearlessness, but the decision to act rightly despite fear. Whether it is standing up for a principle, pursuing a dream, or enduring pain with dignity, courage transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Seneca reminded us that difficulties strengthen the soul just as fire tests gold. Every time we face hardship with courage, we refine our character. Wisdom, too, is essential. Wisdom is not mere knowledge. It is the ability to see clearly what matters and what does not. In an age overflowing with information, true wisdom is rare. The Stoics urge us to step back from distractions, reflect deeply, and align our lives with enduring truths rather than fleeting trends. And then there is self-discipline, perhaps the most practical of virtues. Our impulses often lead us astray. The urge to overindulge, to lash out in anger, to procrastinate. But with discipline, we gain mastery over our desires rather than being enslaved by them. Epictetus taught his students to train their will like an athlete trains his body. Each small act of self-control builds strength for greater challenges ahead. As we weave these virtues into our lives, we begin to embody the Stoic ideal, a person unshaken by misfortune, guided by reason, devoted to justice, courageous in action, wise in thought, and disciplined in habit. Such a person radiates calm in a chaotic world, becoming a light for others to follow. Now let us reflect on how to practice Stoicism in daily life. Philosophy is useless unless it shapes how we live. The Stoics were practical men. Their wisdom was meant to be applied, not admired from afar. So, what can we do each day to live more stoically? First, we can begin with morning reflections. Marcus Aurelius started his days by reminding himself of the challenges he would face. Selfish people, ungrateful people, deceitful people. By expecting difficulties, he prepared his mind to meet them calmly. We too can begin each morning with a short meditation. Today, I will face challenges. Some will be unfair, but I will meet them with patience, with courage, and with integrity. This simple practice sets the tone for the day. Second, we can practice gratitude. The Stoics often reminded themselves of the blessings they already had, rather than obsessing over what was missing. Seneca suggested imagining life without the things we take for granted, our health, our loved ones, our freedom, so that we might cherish them more deeply. Gratitude transforms ordinary days into extraordinary gifts. Third, we can rehearse adversity. This does not mean living in constant fear, but occasionally preparing ourselves for loss. Epictetus encouraged his students to remind themselves that every possession, every relationship is fragile. By acknowledging impermanence, we learn to love more deeply and to let go more gracefully. Fourth, we must journal. Writing down our thoughts, struggles, and lessons helps us clarify our minds. Marcus Aurelius' Meditations was essentially a personal journal, never meant for publication. Yet it remains one of the greatest guides to human resilience. Each evening, we too can write, "What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What lesson will I carry forward?" In this way, our lives become a continuous journey of growth. Fifth, we can practice the art of pause. When anger rises, when fear grips us, when temptation calls, let us pause before acting. This pause is our freedom. In that space between impulse and response lies our greatest power, the power to choose. Finally, we must serve others. Stoicism is not about cold detachment from humanity. It is about recognizing our shared nature and working for the common good. Marcus Aurelius saw himself as a citizen of the universe, bound to others through reason and compassion. By helping, teaching, and supporting those around us, we fulfill the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with nature and humanity. Stoicism, then, is not an escape from life, but a deeper engagement with it. It teaches us not only how to endure, but how to thrive. It shows us that even in the face of chaos, we can remain calm. Even in loss, we can remain grateful. Even in uncertainty, we can remain purposeful. As we conclude this journey into Stoicism, let us remember that philosophy is not about memorizing quotes or admiring ancient thinkers. It is about transformation. Each day offers us the chance to practice, to face hardships with courage, to treat others with justice, to seek wisdom, to master ourselves, and to live with gratitude. The ultimate Stoic guide to life is not a book or a lecture. It is the life we live when we embody these principles. It is the steady calm in crisis, the smile in adversity, the hand extended in kindness, the quiet strength that endures. And as we carry Stoicism into our modern age, we discover that its ancient wisdom is not only relevant, but essential. So, my friends, let us step into life with Stoic resolve. Let us accept what we cannot control and master what we can. Let us live with virtue as our guide, resilience as our shield, and wisdom as our compass. For in the end, the storms of life will always come. But with Stoicism, we do not merely survive them, we emerge stronger, wiser, and more fully alive.